this is what it comes about, like said the growth part, right? Understanding how, like Draft said, everything stems from something. You know, where like how I grew up, man, I grew up like thinking, I remember my first relationship, I would literally start arguments just to make up. Because in my mind, love didn't look like love unless we were overcoming something.
They call that toxic.
And you feel me? And my mom,
that's
like,
a drug. That's
like,
a drug.
And it'd be,
I like that.
It'd be certain things that I'd be like, yo, Jacob, it ain't that deep. Let it go.
Yeah.
And like,
No, fuck that.
It'd be like, yo, like,
You
yo,
out to hear me.
like,
You out to hear me.
it'd be like one person on my shoulder says Jacob is over now. She already apologized. Other motherfucker on my shoulder, nah, nigga, argue for one more hour, nigga, and then make up the last hour.
The devil and the angel, right?
Yeah, like, and I'm sitting there arguing. I'm like, yo, and next thing you know, I'm like, babe, you know, I love you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're right. I do apologize for taking it that way. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I would actually have the conscious knowledge, like you know, of what I was doing, but I could not stop doing it. Like in the whole like the whole idea of us arguing, this like it's like for me, I wanted to hear you apologize a certain way. Like if my feelings was hurt, I wanted to hear you say, Jacob, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings for da 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 da. And if I didn't hear it that way, the argument keep going. And they say, no, I had to be like, bruh,
you crazy.
It's not that deep, but I got, and I had to really check myself. And like, and I thought it was normal. I thought what I was going, like what I remember I had a friend tell me one time, he said, man, I don't argue in my relationship. I said, bro, you don't argue? So like, y'all don't love each other. Like, no, that's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
You're damaged.
Like, damn, like, I'm that fucked up, but I mean, a lot of it comes from a list full of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me losing my mom at such a young age. Like, my memorization of my mom and my dad interaction was abusive. You know, police getting called, you know what I'm saying, fighting, motherfuckers talking to each other crazy. Yeah, that's what I was used to see. That's what love looked like.
That dangerous love.
And I grew up with my grandma. My grandma didn't have a husband. She wasn't married. So I didn't, like, everything I seen literally was toxic.
So do you still think you still got a little bit of toxic in you? Like, you want to, you know what I mean?
You know what's crazy part is? I actually ask myself that all the time. And that's one of the reasons why I'm single at this moment. And I'm actually in therapy. Because I don't know, like, cause like my communication is yelling. Like it used to be yelling. Like I get mad, I immediately start yelling, or my voice get raised. Even if it's not yelling, my voice get raised.
Elevated. Because
I haven't been in a relationship so long, it's easy to say that I'll never do that shit again, cause I'm growing. But I don't know until I get in a relationship. But I can say that I'm taking the steps. It's all about taking a step. It's one thing to say you crazy or like feel like you do things that are, you know what I'm saying, incorrect. But if you're not taking the steps, that's why I started therapy, because when I do get in a relationship, I want my next one to be like really solidified. Like I want it to be like, man, this makes the most fucking sense. But I gotta be the best me.
Yeah,
I gotta be the best me in order to do that.
To tell you, you know, you gotta be real with yourself. I always say that you got to be real with yourself. At the end of the day, you can fake it to everybody in the world, but when you get home and it's you. And you gotta deal with that. You feel me? And you know if you need to get better.
Be honest with you, you don't know what type of man you are until your feelings get involved too, though.
Yeah.
Because like for example, I always joke around. Get this example: you would date a girl that like hang out around with nothing but niggas, and that shit don't bother you. Cause your feelings not involved. Next thing you know, you in love and you like, why you always with nigga with John and them?
But that's like
because your feelings are now
but listen,
and so like you gotta be honest with yourself.
But
like,
listen, that go back to yourself, because you insecure somewhere if you feel that way. You knew she was doing that beforehand. But
a lot of times those insecurities.
Now you mad.
A lot of times those insecurities don't start kicking your ass until you catch feelings.
Exactly.
But see, the thing is, a lot of us are insecure. Be honest, like
we are.
That's one thing we are afraid to admit.
And that's
most
what I mean.
of us are insecure. We're dealing with some type of insecurity.
And that's what I mean. When you get home to yourself, you gotta be real with yourself. You know your flaws. That's why people that are ahead of life, they see their flaws early. They don't be lying to themselves. Like a lot of motherfuckers lie to their own self. And then you're not where you need to be or where you picture yourself to be at.
And a lot of times what happens is that, like when you're saying talking about relationships, we be so comfortable with the picture we see now. But then when we finally get it within the home, we want to sit here and attach our insecurities on it. like the example you said, if you notice, she a girl that got homies. Not her girlfriend, she got homies. And then when you make her your girl, you want her to detach from the homies. That's what you got her at. You got her at, so the only thing she can do is respect you. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't ever have to sit here and take away the homies.
And explain herself why you was hanging with the homies. It's just
simply, I'm in a relationship, and hey, homies, whatever we did, because you never know. She could have been getting passed around, whatever it been. She could have been doing that. But the fact that she got a man now, she got to tighten up.
Nah, fuck all that. You a sucker, you come there. Talking about getting passed around. That means
I'll tell you the realest thing you can do is this. Is when you see a woman that you like and you pursuing, and there's certain things that you like it's being real with yourself. Like, you know what? I probably would be concerned with this if we were. Is having that conversation early on. Listen, because I've had that conversation. I told a girl once, I said, "Yo, I don't mind you having male friends. I just ask you if I have a concern, can you please not just automatically shut it down and call me insecure, but actually hear my concern." That's a conversation I had up front. I would have never had that conversation in the past. But it's conversations now as I'm getting older and I'm maturing. Is like, because let's be honest, I have one of my best friends is a woman. And I would never let no woman come in my life and shut that off. But if she had a concern with our relationship, I'm supposed to meet that head on.
Absolutely.
Not straight up be like, oh man, well that's your own insecurity. That's the problem we do with insecurities. We brush them off. Man, I'm sorry, that's your insecurity. You got to deal with that on your own. Yeah. Nah, man, most of the time we can't heal from self-insecurities. It takes certain
you giving it to us acting like that.
It takes certain things like to actually, you know what, like to make us feel more at ease. So I tell a woman straight up early on, but that's why it's the mature part. Have these conversations early on and straight up be like, hey, is there anything about me right now how I move? Like, you feel me? Like, even like, example, like, you know what I'm saying, Jamal Barber, he always busy. Tell me on the first date if you think you can handle that. Yeah, don't try to fake and pretend like you okay with that. Right. And I feel like we don't take advantage of the first date enough. Like, you know what? I don't like that you do that at all. You know what, Jacob? Like, Jacob, you know what, Jacob? I think you feed into social media too much. Like, tell me straight up if that's a problem. So now when we, like, I'm not finding out later on when I'm sitting there doing my social media shit, you telling me that you got problems with my social media. You ain't never told me you had problems with my social media. Now we at the altar and you like, hey, Jay, I just want you to, can you delete your social media? Like,
boy, that's what? The death for me.
But let me ask you this though. First date, you dropping all that shit on him?
No,
I think at least try like
that's a little too much.
Forward, like
that's a little too much. Yeah,
because she like you pressing.
You pressing.
Essentially, she already gave.
I'm about to say a little too much.
She already gave you a chance. You know how hard, like
you get levels when we go along.
like how it is. Like some girls are at ease where if you want to hang out, kick it with them, you ask that, they'll sit here and be with it. They either gonna say yes or no. But then when you get to that point, and then you got the other stuff. Like, do you really drop? Because, like, you know, I always tell people, like, with women, our first thing is our physical sight with them. It's not about whatever the hell that they have in the background.
And that's vice versa. They be like, they don't be, listen, that's why I say, don't be pressing to get them draws. Because if you already engaged, involved, and she giving you feedback.
She
already know.
You already know. That motherfucking leg.
Like I said, it's going to be, it could be day 1. It could be day 69, 72.
She may have, what's it, the 90-day rule?
Man, it could be. Hold on. Listen, you be believing that? Come on, listen.
I answered the question. You said, like, when do you do it? I think honestly, it's
90 days.
I think it's being honest about your. I think it's about being honest about your intentions. Because there's certain girls we know, real talk. When we talking to, we got one thing in mind.
I ain't gonna lie.
If it's a girl I really like, I might not go all in.
Yeah, you're not going for it.
But I'm probably gonna give her 25%. Like, yo, I'll be honest. This is the type of person I am.
Nah. Because then you're going to be too geek.
You know what
I'm saying? You're going to think like, yo, this is the girl I really want. Like, I'm not trying to be out here, like, overindulging in that.
Because one false move, you can sit here and be back in the DMs.
But listen, not even that, bro. Like, for real, it's about how you stepping. I don't care what you talking about.
Honestly, nowadays, you can be the ugliest motherfucker. Woman just want what you got.
Listen. You can get the girl everybody wanted. Ain't none of them, and you know, ain't none of them niggas hit it. Like, you feel me? And the one that did, everybody know, and he was cheesy, probably. Mm-hmm. She like who she like. Yeah, so listen, you can listen. If you come straight forward, you might get it quicker than you think you.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest.
You not faking the fuck. She like you for you. Don't be over here like, oh, I do this, I do that. Just be yourself.
To be honest,
you always lose out when you don't be yourself.
If a chick fuck with you, she gonna offer you grace. Man, what I mean by
that's
grace
deep
is
as hell right there.
Brother Jacob speaking.
Grace is something I live by. Like, that's 100% something I live by. Because I think a lot of times, like, as men, we offer grace a lot. Like, when we date, like I joke around. I give this example. If a woman out here doing some shit on the first date that you don't like, most of the time we're like, man, it's cool. I'm gonna let it go. Women. Women taking
your first time. Goodbye.
I feel like men. We be coming up with reasons why to fuck with a woman. Women be coming up with reasons why not to fuck with us.
100%.
So you feel me? Like, that's what I mean. Like, we offer a little bit more grace. And I say this jokingly, right? But like, let's say you do. Let's say man, you fart on the first date. This is like coming up. If you fart on the first date, she probably got in her mind, I'm done with this.
But
if she farts, bro, we might be like, damn. But you know what, man?
Hell no, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm a sophisticated nigga. Fuck that.
But more likely than not, a man probably gonna be like, oh man, we'll give you excuses. So that's why I say, like, as far as like there's certain.
But you gonna treat that a certain way too.
There's just certain combos I think early on that you gotta take a chance to have, whether or not it turned them off or not. If it turned them off, she just didn't provide you the grace that maybe you deserve.
Listen. You know how that relationship gonna be
after the first date,
after 100%. The first couple encounters.
But
y'all either gonna be just
honestly,
or y'all gonna be working towards something.
Do men really be sitting there checking women off after the first date the same way women
check
I
do. Yes, I do.
I feel like you high caliber and high profile, you will. Yeah. You stand on what you believe in, you do.
I know how I'm coming, so I ain't about to play myself.
I feel like
I work hard for where I got.
I feel like, and like I can't. I'm not speaking on all men, but this is just being honest, and we can't like if we take the time to step back and we might do it now, but if we take this time and step back on like who we were, like how we've been in the past. A lot of times as men don't walk in the first date with a list of standards, whereas a woman walks in on the first date with a list of standards. Does he meet this? He doesn't.
It's not standards though. How you carry yourself as a woman is gonna let us know everything. And we don't got standards. We gonna know how you carry yourself. Listen. A Facebook profile versus a Facebook profile. Two totally different outcomes. Facebook, you know what you're getting.
But you're not being realistic because a lot of times what happens is we start leading with sex. Like, man, fuck it, she don't meet my standards, but I still fuck her.
You still hit.
You know what I'm saying? So we still entertain it, and we also know oftentimes.
But you know what it is.
Dick leads. No, that's not true. Because motherfucker fuck a bitch just purely off of fucking, like, I just want to fuck her. Next thing you know, this nigga in a relationship. Like, how did that happen?
Because you like it there.
We just got to fucking a few times.
And you like it there.
You valuing that over everything else.
You gotta think. After you hit that, you feel me? That's when I feel like a guy is really open to like, all right, that was good. So what's the relationship part talking about? We're not going.
Nah. Hold on, Drive. Wait a minute.
What you mean?
I don't want to interrupt you on that. What I'm simply saying is this:
if the sex like you ain't keeping that, you're not even gonna keep going.
Drive, bro.
It's nothing else to talk about.
Drive. If you done had sex with a lot of women. It don't matter how good that pussy is. If she don't meet like Sho said, if she don't meet your standards, then you're not going to even care about the good pussy.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You gonna know what the relationship is going to be.
You're not going to question it though.
I know exactly, but I'm saying right? Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you know you just about to be fucking,
but that's the problem. We still lead with we still go in and entertain.